Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about all of the must-haves for your first trimester. So I'll kind of group these in order, but I will save the best for last, so make sure you stay till the end because I want to talk about that a little bit in detail. So one thing keep in mind, if you haven't watched any of the previous updates, I'll link them below and see if I can link one up here, but I relatively had a very easy first trimester. So I was just very, very blessed in that sense, and I didn't get the morning sickness, the really bad headaches, and the really bad fatigue or anything like that. So I'm very, very thankful for that. So I'm just gonna walk through some of the things that I had, but the first thing I'm gonna talk about is one thing that I had that I did not actually use. That is these little Preggie Pops. They'll focus. So my friend had just had her baby, and she had these and she gave them to me, and I was very grateful that I had them, but thankfully I just never needed them. So these are great. I've heard so many people talk about them and use these if you get that morning sickness. So I have these just in case. The next one is my heating pad. I know a lot of pregnant women who love to have the heating pad because at first you're kind of crampy, and as everything is starting to stretch and grow. So I had this and this was great. Now I use this for very different reasons though. So this is one thing where I kind of differ, because I had to pair it with this little roller guy because again, we did IVF. So if you are new, my husband and I are pregnant with our first little baby and we did IVF. So these were kind of paired together, but again, heating pad is something that I know a lot of my pregnant friends have recommended. So something I prayed for so much as we were getting ready to go through our frozen embryo transfer and hopefully, get pregnant, was that I would be able to exercise, or at least at the very minimum, just be able to get up and go for a walk every day. I wanted to be able to move my body, just in the sense that for my mental state, working out keeps me clear. It keeps me calm, it makes me happy. And so I was just very prayerful that I was at least able to move my body during pregnancy. So I would recommend running shoes, walking shoes, exercise shoes, whatever. But I do recommend just exercising, move your body, because that will help you into labor and delivery the longer you're able to be active, and it just helps with baby. While we're talking about staying healthy, I would say get a big jug of water. So always want to stay hydrated. This is my just bright pink Yeti that I finally brought home from work, and I try and drink 4 or 5 of these a day. Now I do pack it full of ice, so that limits the ounces that I'm drinking. But I do try and get through 4 or 5 of them. For me, ibuprofen is always what helps if I have headaches or anything like that. And obviously when you get pregnant, you can't have ibuprofen, so Tylenol to the rescue. I try not to take it if I can. If I have a headache, I have to be just in pain for me to take it. So it is there just in case. Something that may be just kind of common sense, but make sure you get yourself a prenatal. And for me, this has been my saving grace as we've gotten further along, because it was week 10-ish when my heartburn really, really kicked in. We would be able to go out and eat and I had no problems, but man, now it makes me so nervous to go out to eat, because it seems like every single time we do, I end up with super bad heartburn. And here in the last week, it's been even worse. And unfortunately, it's even really worse with Mexican food, which just breaks my heart because I love Mexican food. So I'm trying to figure out what it is, if it's the tomatoes or whatnot, because I know that can be a contributor. I made something this week. I made our turkey quinoa that I've talked about before this week, and it has tomatoes in it and it didn't do it. So there's something else that I've just got to figure out what it is that's doing it. But if we cook at home, I'm just fine. It's only whenever we go out to eat, so I have to figure out what we're doing wrong. Speaking of food, snacks. Definitely have to have snacks. So we had to go to the doctor this week, and I was looking for my mask. I could not find it, and so I'm digging through my purse trying to figure out where it is, and my husband's like, "You have all of the snacks in the world in your purse right now." And I was like, yeah, because I never know when I'm gonna get hungry. So from that one day where I just thought I was going to die, I went ahead and started putting snacks in my purse at all times. So I always have some of these just peanut butter crackers just to keep me tied over. And we got these just, again, This was like an impulse little thing whenever I was dying that one day, and we got these from Costco. I can't eat these now because when I do, I get heartburn. So they were great for a couple of weeks, and now they're just sitting in the pantry. I also keep lots of fruit in the house. So right now we've still got peaches, and those are unfortunately about to go away because it is the middle of September. And so apples, grapes, all that kind of stuff, I just keep that readily available in the house. For all of my readers, so you have more than likely heard of this book, the What to Expect When You're Expecting book. I have mixed reviews about this. I think some of it's great. I think some of it is, you know, it's going to be kind of a broad spectrum because no one's going to be able to just specifically write about you because every pregnancy is different. So you have to kind of take some of it with a grain of salt. Some of it you can like fast forward and you don't have to read it all because it doesn't apply to you. You know, there's little sections in there about IVF. If you got pregnant naturally, you don't need to worry about the IVF stuff, right? So, and vice versa. So, yay and nay. There's some parts that I'm like, oh, that's great. And then there's some parts that aren't. Like in month 4, it starts talking about working out. Well, in my opinion, I wish they had talked about that way back in the beginning in like month 2 or something like that, whenever most people find out that they're pregnant. So there's just little things that I'm like, that should really be a little sooner in my opinion, but I obviously did not write the book. So there you go. This is just where my nerd self comes in, and I am 100% admit it, I am a book nerd. But I love the sentimental stuff. So I saw somebody else on YouTube post about this, and so I ordered this book. It says, Oh Baby. It's the Erin Condren little baby journal. I saw somebody post this long time ago, and I've had this book for probably 3 years, just waiting to open it until we got pregnant. It's great. It's got, I put the first little ultrasound pic in the very front. It's got places for you to say like how, oops, see if we can focus here. How you found out, girl names, boy names, doctor's appointments. So as we like fast forward, like you can see, like I've got all kinds of different stuff written in here. I do it like color coded. So we've got first baby's picture. I'm just fast forwarding. So I absolutely love this, but again, I love the sentimental stuff. I like to know that, you know, when my baby grows up, they're gonna be able to look back on this and be like, wow, these were like what my mom was thinking, and this is what's going on. And to me, that just stuff is so cool. For example, whenever my husband and I got married, I have a journal that I was writing open letters, open poems, and just thoughts and prayers to my husband years before we ever even were dating. And they were just addressed to my future husband. I wanted my husband to know that I have been praying for him way before we ever even met. So kind of the same thing with baby. I want baby to know that I'm praying for him or her every single day. All right, my last one that I love so much, and again, it really goes with the little baby journal, but man, I wish I had found this long time ago because I would have gifted it to every single one of my mama friends who have just recently had babies, because this is just amazing. I highly recommend this book. So this is Waiting in Wonder, and it is by Catherine Claire Larson. Again, I will link all this stuff below. No like affiliations to anything, just linking it. That way you can look at it if you'd like it. But I saw someone on Instagram post this, and so I started looking at it, and I love it. So I've got a couple of things flagged right here because like this one specifically says, if you've started feeling your baby kick. Well, I haven't felt baby kick yet, so I just flagged it so that I can come back later on whenever I do. So it has 4 days during the week that you can, it's a little devotional, and so it's got the devotional on the left, and then it's got 2 little things on the right that you can fill out. And again, there's 4 for a week, so you have plenty of time throughout the 7 days to get this done. But so this is just kind of like what week 5 looks like. And then you've got the 2. So this is again where it just starts. But it tells you like points of prayer and points of praise for that week to focus on. It's got a memory verse for mama. I just wanted to point out one of these because it just spoke to me so much whenever I first read this, and it just like brought me to tears. I'm just gonna read the first part of the devotion. So it says, the blessing of children. And the verse, it always has a verse at the very top. So the verse says, sons are a heritage from the Lord, children a reward from him. Psalms 127, verse 3. And then the devotional itself says, flip through primetime sitcoms and it won't take long for you to absorb what our culture thinks about children. They drain your life, your wallet, your independence, your patience, and your sanity. If there's one message you probably won't get, it's the one God wants you to hear, that children are a blessing. Yes, you will be changing diapers and cutting coupons. Yes, date nights with your husband will get harder and time to yourself a little more scarce. But God does not see children as a liability. He calls them a reward. So I hope that encourages you a little bit today as you watch this video. So again, it's called Waiting in Wonder. Here's the front of it, but it does have one all the way up through week 40. And these are just, I love this thing. I just love this. So I'm really thinking about ordering another one already, just so that I can have one for baby number 2 whenever that comes along in a couple years or whatnot. That is it. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Click that little subscribe button. Just let me know again this week how I can be praying for you. But that is all I have for today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care and God bless.